Hey everyone, Kurt from Team the Smart Players here, switching it up a little bit, bringing you guys a deck profile, an IRL one, nonetheless. It's a deck I've been working on for a while, ever since I heard about the release of the Blue Eye Structure deck, and more so, that's when I conceptualized it, and it's been a work in progress ever since I found out the cards that are in there. Cards have changed. I've tried many different builds of this, so there's a bunch of ways to do it. I tried Heavy Lightsworn with Chaos Dragons. I tried Heavy Draw Blue Eyes side and most of the Blue Eyes cards. And I tried, which didn't run many Lightsworns and very few Chaos Dragons. Tried pretty much just Chaos Dragons with Maidens and Blue Eyes teched in. But of all the variants I've tried, I like this one the best. I also tried Blue Eyes Ninjas. That's a deck that I still think has some potential. I just need to work on it a little bit more. This is the variant I like best, and this is the one I want to show you guys here today. So, start off we have, and I apologize for the dreadful angle, 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. I got my starter deck Kaiba Survivor there. Seen his better days, but still playable. 2 Maidens. I only like 2 Maidens because I don't like the draw multiples of this card. You might think that's crazy because you're like, oh, you can just do more Maiden shit. But really, I only like this card at 2. I also only bought 2 structure decks, so that's part of the reason. But in practice, I think 2 is a good number. Good number to run here. Also run 2 Raiko for the Lightsworn engine. Good. He's your main out to Ophion. Definitely have XYZ Encore in your side deck or something else to get rid of Ophion if you don't feel like spending the money on XYZ Encore, but that's probably the best thing to use. Free Lila, also Lightsworn, basically MST, so it's really useful for back row removal. One of the reasons why Chaos Dragons was so good back in the day. Free Light Pulsar Dragons for the dragon stuff. What can I say about Light Pulsar? He makes things work. Can set up your graveyard, can give you a lot of different options for plays, rank 6 XYZs, all that fun stuff. 2 Dark Flare Dragon, because Dark Flare can also help set up your graveyard, and it's good to have more dragons in this deck. You have to run a few more dragons than you would in regular Chaos Dragons because of Dragon Shrine. This is a Darkstorm Dragon. I don't think he's new to the structure deck. I think this is a reprint, but he might be new. He's a Gemini, basically Heavy Storm if you want to use his Gemini effect, but mainly he's just good with Dragon Shrine and Trading. But his Gemini effect does, I've used it a couple times, it helps. 1 Eclipse Wyvern, you probably could run 2 if you wanted to. I don't see any reason why not. I just couldn't find room for it. I don't want to. I could make this deck 42 cards and probably run a second one of him, but I like to keep it at 40. Red Eyes, of course. Run dragons, you're going to run Red Eyes. Dark Armed, you run anything with significant darks in it, you're going to run Dark Armed. Chaos Sorcerer, another Chaos Monster. I wish you went to 2. This deck would be amazing. All Chaos decks would be amazing. I tested the OCG list. Super rare Blackluster Soldier. My secret's in my Inzector deck, so this is still the card. And it's BLS. You should know what it does. 1 Plague Spreader helps with some synchros. Not necessarily needed. You could cut this for something else, but I find this deck to be a little bit light on darks. So light on dark. So I felt I needed to bolster the count a little bit, and Gores for your hand trap. I don't like Tragodia so much, and I couldn't find room for Maxis and Veilers. Those things are definitely in the side deck, which unfortunately I don't have the show for you right now. But definitely Tragodia and Maxi and Veiler are good cards for your side deck. I just don't feel that in the main. I feel in the main deck they get in the way more than they help. 2 Dragon Shrine, the spell is amazing. If I bought a 3rd structure deck, I would likely run 3 of these. This is your Foolish Burial on steroids. Don't run Foolish in Dragon decks with this card. Just don't do it. If you send a normal dragon, you get to send another. So if you do Darkstorm Wyvern, Wyvern banish Red Eyes, Chaos Summon BLS, or Chaos Sorcerer, Dark Flare, Light Pulsar, whichever you have in your hand, get your Red Eyes, and all the derp. All the derp happens. To trade in, you run 4 level 8s, so I feel that's enough, or 5 BLS is also level 8, which you probably wouldn't want to discard him, but helps speed up the deck a little bit. To Wonder Wand, activates your Maiden's effect, also useful with Lila. You use her effect to pop a card, equip Wonder Wand. If you don't need to mill anything, you send her to the graveyard and draw 2. So it helps speed up the deck. Also makes Lila 2200, so that's pretty good. 2 Silver's Cry, amazing spell card. Bring back your Darkstorm, bring back your Blue Eyes. It's a quick play, so you can activate on your opponent's turn. Just mess with them. Helps with rank 8, XYZs, all that good stuff. 1 for 1. I only run 2 Maiden, so this is essentially running a 3rd Maiden. And it also helps set up your graveyard a little bit, because you have to discard a card to activate its effect. Lightsworn spells, 1 charge of the Light Brigade. Everyone knows what charge does. Mills, no cards mill, add Lila or Ryko to your hand, whichever you need. Excuse me. 2 Solar Recharge. Really speeds up the deck, draw 2, mill 2. 3 would be too many with the Lightsworn count I run, but if you ran more Lightsworns, you could definitely do it. And staples, Dark Hole, and 2 Mystical Space Typhoon. And for traps, this card's really freaking good. I don't know why more people don't run it. Castle of Dragon Souls. It's basically Call of the Haunted-ish sort of thing. You can raise the attack of one of your monsters by 700, and that effect does target, so it activates Maiden at the cost of banishing a dragon from your graveyard. And when this card is sent to the graveyard, you get to special summon one of your banished dragon monsters. So you can use this to banish Eclipse Wyvern in your graveyard to activate target Maiden and activate her effect to bring out Blue Eyes. And Eclipse Wyvern's effect also activates, so you would get back your Dark Armed or your Red Eyes, whatever you happen to banish with a Wyvern. And if this card gets MST'd, you can chain it to bring back a Red Eyes in your graveyard or something. So it's really a useful card. I don't know why people don't run more of these. I only like it at 2, because it is a trap. Traps are kind of gross, and I don't like traps too much. Especially in decks that are supposed to be fast. But this card's worth it. I couldn't imagine running the deck without it. Just helps so much. Other cards you can run, Lance, of course, would also target. You should run stuff that can target your Maiden, because if you just summon your Maiden, your opponent will wait until they can answer the Blue Eyes to do anything to your Maiden. So just it helps to be able to get things going yourself. I'm for the extra deck. This isn't really complete. There's 13 cards. It's more or less what it will be, but I'm still waiting on a couple cards. 2 Azure Eyes. This card, I don't think people really fully understand its value. If they don't have Torrential, and you can set up your field of dragons and then special summon him, your dragons are safe from Mirror Force, Dimensional Prison. They're pretty much safe from anything, because they can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects until the end of your opponent's next turn. So even if you don't have game, they can't just Dark Hole you if he's been summoned. And of course, during your standby phase, you can special summon a normal dragon monster from your graveyard, so get your Blue Eyes. Scrap Dragon. Scrap Dragon's just good in everything that you can make him in. He's pretty easy to make with Plague and Light Pulsar. Light Pulsar, no, never mind. I was going to say it also gets its effect, but it doesn't. It missed timing. Ally of Justice Catastor, again, my Secrets in my Inzektor extra deck. He's a little harder to make because I took out the rank 3s. I took out the level 3 monsters, like I don't run Card Trooper or Tour Guide in this deck, because I think I have enough mill power, and Tour Guide, rank 3 XYZs aren't quite what they used to be. So you'd make him with your Maiden or your yeah, Maiden and a Lila or something like that, and Cadastra just screws with people. Rail Cannon Gustav Max can't make it with what you have in the main deck, but if you side in Tragodia, definitely worth having in there. Number 30, Gimmick Puppet of Strength. This card's actually pretty good. It's the only rank 8 I have right now. I'm going to also put in Sun Dragon, Heliopolis. It's another good card. Thunder End Dragon, if you have him, is also pretty good. Neo Galaxy Eyes, probably wouldn't be able to make him, but that's not a bad option either. And Tachyon Dragon. Those are the rank 8s I would recommend running in this deck. But this one's pretty good. Can destroy all the monsters, and your opponent will burn your opponent for 500 each, and it's not bad stats. It's not the greatest card ever. Queen Dragon Djinn. This makes things go a little bit, provides some small protection for your dragons, but she's probably going to be your smallest dragon, so her can only attack. This card effect doesn't really hinder your opponent too much, but she can special summon a dragon from your graveyard and just make things happen. Maestroke, because he's the stroke and he's awesome. Gem Knight, because he can run over Ovion. I said Ovion. Ophion, if you need him to, provided they don't have like Dress or something set. Papilloperative just opens up your opponent's field, fucks up Spirit Reaper. Gauntlet Launcher, really good, can use its effect twice in the same turn, so you can just clear the field. And he's got a big fanny if you need to sit on him. His attack isn't bad either. Force Focus, just really can screw with people. Really good card. Got high attack and all that jazz. And Photon Strike Bouncer, because he's my favorite rank 6 XYZ. So that's the deck. You could also run Hieratic Dragon, King of Atum in this. Extra deck's more or less yours to play around with, but this is just my build. It works pretty well, actually. I've been playtesting it a lot on Dev Pro and some in real life, and it can hang with some of the better decks out there. I think I'm happy with this build. This is the best one that I've tried, and I've tried a lot of them. I'm not going to go out and say that this is the best one there is, but it's pretty damn good. So thanks for watching, and go out and have fun with this deck.